Welcome back, horror fans, cinephiles, and Giallo enthusiasts. This is Tanner Leeser, your host for all things Giallo here on the King of Giallo, and this is another unscripted talking head movie review. This is for the other 1965 Proto-Giallo film, The Monster of Venice, or as it's known in the US, under the US cut, The Embalmer. If you saw the previous review I did, I talked about Night of Violence and how these two movies are the two outlier 1965 Proto-Giallo films that I had not seen yet, and I decided, well, I have the MP4 files on my computer, I might as well watch them and do a review on them. Why not? If you saw my Night of Violence review, or if not, here, I'll give you the one-word review for that movie. Forgettable. It is, I don't want to say it's not worth your time, just skip it, but I feel like most Giallo fans, most people who watch the channel, are kind of like completionists for the most part, so do check it out. But yeah, in terms of The Embalmer, I will refer to it as The Embalmer versus Monster of Venice because that is the cut I had. The movie should be about an hour and 23 minutes, and the cut I have is about an hour and 19, actually minus, I think, 2 minutes from the intro of the file I had. I think it is about an hour and 17 or so. But now I couldn't find a reason why there were those edits. It could be for the pacing. I don't think it had to do with there being like too much nudity or violence. I don't know. It could be the case. But in the case for the last movie, it was like nudity and such. And I'm like, really? You guys cut out about 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes for nudity? Who knows? Anyways, this movie, this is directed by Dino Tavella. I will say this movie was at least more exciting. This one, I could see actually like people doing a watch party and at least kind of having fun with that. Likewise, this is also shot in black and white because it's a horror movie. This one feels more like a traditional horror movie versus Night of Violence kind of felt like it didn't really, I mean, it was a, murder investigation, so to speak, but it was very focused on the police side of the investigation. This kind of felt more like a traditional horror movie of the time. It's very clearly taking from House of Wax, but again, at least it was more interesting. This is certainly more original of some of the other like lesser Giallo films I've seen, or Proto-Giallo films. Plot for this one. This is me reading it off of IMDb. A crazed killer is on the loose in the catacombs of Venice, Italy. He stalks beautiful women, drags them to his underground lair, kills them, then stuffs them and adds them to his collection. Yeah, I mean, that's basically the plot in a nutshell, and it like I said, at least it was more interesting than Night of Violence. The killer's got a skull mask. He looks like the rapper Cedo, a German rapper. This felt like it was kind of emulating Universal horror movies a little bit. I would say the first thing that stood out to me was the music. Like in the first 5 minutes of this movie, watching the first kill, I immediately thought, okay, well, this is better than Night of Violence already. It's kind of hilarious how the killer is in like a scuba suit coming out from the canals of Venice, and then he'd like attack a woman and like drag her into the water and go down. I'm like, oh, that's a frightening way to die, to literally get dragged underwater and drowned. And then by going underwater, he has access into this, underground lair where he keeps all the women, all the corpses. And that was cool. It could have been done a lot, even more impressively, but it was fine. Beyond all that, I will say that the plot also was very forgettable in terms of the investigation, the characters, pretty damn forgettable. The directing style was negligible. The writing was all right, acting, blasé, nothing going on. Yeah, I would just say that this movie at least visually had more interesting, more appealing things. It wasn't, yes, I did think it was boring when you weren't seeing kills. This is almost like kaiju movies. It's like, where are the monsters? It was boring, and forgettable, but it wasn't as bad as Night of Violence. Gosh, I honestly have even less to say about this movie. I think because Night of Violence, I really just didn't like it, so I kind of have a lot more to nitpick about it. This movie, I don't really have as much. It was just kind of boring, but like I said, more enjoyable. I really feel like I don't have much to say about this movie, but that is the reality. Boy, I gotta have something. The ending was interesting. The final 5-10 minutes of the movie was decent. It was decent. The scene with the one girl in the lair, that was fine. The final chase, I was actually watching it like, oh, okay, yeah, this is cool. But holy crap, then the movie just like ended really abruptly. Just like Night of Violence, they just ended really abruptly. A lot of Giallo films will do that where, I mean, spoiler, when they just kill the killer, there's like no denouement. There's no resolution scene. It's just, that's it. Good night. And you know what? That's fine, because it's not like a lot of these characters are actually fleshed out. I'd say at least that's respectful of the audience's time. Like, that's it. Go home now. Anyways, yeah, I have even less to say about this movie. I feel like there's got to be something else. I will say that the music at one point got kind of annoying. It was more traditional horror music, which was like, okay, I dig this. I don't hate this. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. I don't have a lot to say for this movie, but that's fine. Anyways, yeah, so have you seen The Embalmer? Have you seen the actual longer version, Monster of Venice? The movie is available on DVD. I forget which company did it. It's not one of the well-known ones for collectors, but you can find it. You can order it. You can buy it. I think it's also streaming on somewhere, but again, you had to pay for it, and sorry, I wasn't going to pay for this to do the review. As it is, I think the movie is it's probably worth a fun watch. For those of you who blaze or drink, might be worth a joint or a bong rip and then checking it out. It might give you a few laughs. Boring, but kind of fun. Anyways, give me your thoughts on The Embalmer if you've seen it. Let me know what you think. Yeah, I'll see you next time. Next time, I should be giving you a Jolly Tally for Death Falls Lightly. And also, I wasn't planning on doing it, but I decided that I've liked this movie enough that I think I owe it to the movie. I will probably do a Jolly Tally for Amok as well, because I'm kind of preparing for my 1972 wrap up, and I was like writing a list of the Giallo films that I know. I'm like, this is probably going to be in my top 10. And spoiler alert, Amok was in there. And I realized I didn't do a Jolly Tally for this. I probably should. I have, like, I don't own it on physical media, but I found like an HD stream of the movie, and that's how I acquired it for like the clips and everything. I do have access to it. I typically only do the Jolly Tallies for the movies I actually have on physical media, either from whatever. You guys have already heard me do the spiel before, so anyways, look forward to those. Those will probably be coming. In addition to that, my friend who has a channel called Park Narcs, we will be covering the X-Files over the summer, so look forward to that. We're gonna see how popular it gets. If we'll do the first 3 episodes. If it doesn't really catch on, we'll probably leave it at that. But I'm anticipating it probably will do decently on his channel. So yeah, if you're a fan of the X-Files, look forward to that. Otherwise, I'll do my outro again. This is Tanner Leeser for The King and Giallo, and if nothing else, I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.
My darling, answer me, my dearest, answer me. She's dead.